Hey guys, it's Manager Kylie, and in today's video, I'm going to share with you how to do the NCAA hockey score sheet. So today I'm going to show you how to fill out the hockey score sheet. This is the ice hockey score sheet for the NCAA. There's a few different hockey score sheets, and I will have a separate video going through one of the other types of score sheets. They're very similar in many ways, but there are a few differences that I want to point out in separate videos so that you understand how to do each one individually. Today I'm focusing on the NCAA, so definitely check out that other video if you're interested in learning about other hockey score sheets, but this one's definitely one of those ones that's utilized in many different leagues, so I thought this was a good one to go through so you can understand what you need to put on the score sheet and the important places to make sure that everything gets done properly. But if you guys are interested in more sports administration videos just like this, definitely hit the subscribe button, turn the bell so you get notified every time I upload. I post a new video every single Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern time. And if there's any other videos like this you would like to see on my channel, definitely let me know that in the comments down below. And now let's dive into the score sheet. So what we have in front of us is the NCAA hockey score sheet. I just printed out a copy. You can find this on the NCAA's website. So I printed out a copy of it, and I'm going to go through the different sections. I'm going to zoom in on it as we go through some of the different sections so you can focus on the sections we're working on. That way you're not seeing the entire paper, and that way you can more see what I'm actually focusing on. Where this is on a vertical sheet of paper, it's easier to zoom in each section. So I'm going to kind of go through the order that you have to do this in and some of the important pieces you want to know in each section. The first thing we're going to start off with is kind of the information that you have to do pre-game, and then we're going to go into what you're doing during the game. So the first section you're going to be doing is this date and time and everything about the game. This is like the game information section. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to put a date. So we're just going to say that it is 12/4. And then you're going to put, there's already a 20 there, so all you have to put is that the year is 21. So then you have the options of regular season or exhibition. We're going to say it's a regular season. If they are in a tournament, you can put that and specify what the tournament is. We're just going to say it's a regular season games. You have the ability to put attendance. So if you're at a game that you know the attendance, somebody has that number based on your ticket sales and stuff, you can put that. We're just going to say it's 1,000 people. Your home team, I'm just going to put is Team A. And then you can put the score or the record there. You can also put Team B as the visiting team. And then we're going to say the time the game started. We're just going to say it's 4 o'clock. And then you'll fill in the time the game ended at the end of the game. So that's the first few things you need to do. Next, all your referees are going to come over and sign. So every single one of your referees should know to come over. They're going to fill this out. So we're going to say it's just Joe. He's going to put his initial, and then he's going to sign his name. And so forth and so on. Each one of your referees is going to sign, and you're going to have their signature on there. This is definitely something important. This way you know who each one of the referees are, because you do kind of need to know that later on. And then the final one is the official score. So that's your name. So you're just going to put your name. I'm going to put Kylie. I'm going to put my initials, and then I'm going to sign my name. So you have your signatures. Everything is all right there. All your officials should know to come and do that before the game. The next thing you need before the game is the rosters. So for the rosters, you do need to know both the starting lineup and all of the alternates. So usually the team should give you this information. They should give you their starting lineup and the alternates, because the coach does have to come over and approve that as well. So on here, it's kind of hard to see in the small font, but it does have a G, 2 Ds, and then your 3 Fs. So that's for your goalie, your 2 defenders, and your 3 forwards. And then you have your list of alternates, and then your alternate goaltenders. So those are very specific. You want to make sure that you put those people in the right positions. So what you're going to do is you're just going to go through and put their numbers on here. So we're going to say defensive number 1 is, we're going to defensive 2. And then we're going to put their name. We'll just say it's like Chris. I'm just going to put these quickly. We don't really care exactly what their names are. And then we're going to say defensive, the second defenseman is number 4. We have some offensive players. We'll say number 10. We'll say it's number 13. Number 15 are your other 3 starters for your forwards. And then for goalies, you're just going to go through, and this is all going to be on a roster. So you just look at the roster. You're going to be able to figure this out. and you're going to say, okay, my goalie's number is 30, and then your alternate goalies, okay, we have 29, and then we have 1, and then you're going to go in and put in all your alternates for your other position as well. So we got 25, 22, 17, 27. You can put these in a certain order or just put them in whatever order they give them to you in. I'm just basing this off a roster I found on the internet. So 19, we have 21, so forth and so on. And then you just fill out all their names as well. I'm not going to put in all that much detail, but you just fill out all their names as well. And then you repeat this for the visiting team. So for the visiting team, okay, we can say they're starting goaltenders number 2. They have number 5 and number 7 as the defenders, and 12, 18, and 21 as their other forwards to start. And then you can put in all their different alternates as well as their alternate goalies. Once you have all this information in, so you'd have your names, your numbers, your alternates, everything's put in your starting lineup. As it says right here, all officials must initial and sign. Coaches must sign and verify starters. So once you have all that information in, that shows you who your starters are. That list right there is your starters. So then you're going to have the coach's name here, and they're going to come over and sign their name, and then the other coach is going to come over and sign their name. So you have your home team, your visiting team, everything's listed right there. So now your game is able to start, and you're able to start doing the next section of this, which is your scoring section. So for your scoring section, there's a few different labels right here. You have the goal number, the per, which is period, time, team, player number, the assists, if there are assists, and then you have PP/SH. That's to know if it's a power play goal or a shorthanded goal. That just helps with some of your stats later. So we're going to go in and do an example of this. So when we go in, we're going to say, okay, somebody scored in period 1. The time on the clock is 8 minutes and 3 seconds. The team, we're going to say it's the home team, so their team name is Team A. Player number, we're going to say it's number 10. The assist, we'll say it came from number 4 and number 13. And then this is not a power play or a shorthanded goal, so you can just put like a dash right there. And now we're going to say, okay, game happens. We're going to have another goal, also in period 1. This with 2 minutes and 0 seconds, so right at 2 minutes. Team B is scoring this one. It's number 7, assists from number 21 and number 5. And this one is a power play goal. So for this to be a power play goal, that means something had to happen before. There had to be some sort of penalty. Or for it to be a shorthanded goal, somebody had to have a penalty. They had to be down a man in some way. That would make us move over to this penalty section. For that to have happened, sometime before that, a penalty had to happen. So now I'm going to show you how to mark a penalty. So for a penalty, the first thing you're going to do is the team. So we're going to say it's Team A, so that home team. The player number, so we're going to say it was player number 22 got the penalty. The period, it was the first period. The time on the clock that they got the penalty was 3 minutes and 25 seconds. And now, what was their offense? We're going to say that the offense was roughing. So I actually put these in the wrong spot. So roughing's the penalty. The time on the clock is the time they come off. So that's the 3:25. The minutes, it actually says it right on the bottom down here to help you. The minutes is how long. So we're just going to say it's a minor. So it's 2 minutes. And then the time on is when they choose to go back on the ice. So that could be after the full 2 minutes is over if they do serve the full penalty. Or that could be when somebody scores. So, and then finally it's who it's called by. So you use the number code 1, 2, or 3 based on who out of these officials called it. We're going to say that official number 1 called it. And because we know this goal happened because I showed you how to do the scoring first, that means the person went back on the ice at 2 minutes. So you're just going to put 2 minutes. That means they didn't serve the full penalty because the other team scored. But you have that information all right there. If it is some sort of major penalty or game misconduct or something like that, you might have a different number right here. But all you have to make sure is you have the team, the player, the period that it happened, how long they are serving the penalty, the offense, the time off the ice, so the time they went into the box, and then the time they went back on the ice, and then who is the official that called it. And that's everything you need to know for penalties. The next box down here is your goaltender stats. So you do also have to keep some sort of stats for the goaltender. So you're going to put in the goaltender's number. So we know that for the home team, number 20 started, and for the visitors, number 2 started. The time is the amount of time that they were in there. So if there was to be a sub, you could mark the amount of time that they were in there. And then your shots on goal. So probably the easiest way to do this is throughout the game, just keep tally marks right here. And then when you get to the end of each period, you could say, okay, then there was 3 shots on goal. This one, okay, there was 4 shots on goal. On this one, you can say, okay, he had 2 saves. And on this one, you can say, okay, he had 3 saves. So you can kind of mark it as those tally marks at the end. And then once he plays the full period, you can just put the full amount of time. A few other miscellaneous things to know at the end of the game is that down here on the bottom, you can put the team's record. So you can say after the game, the team is now 4-4, and this team is now 7-2. You can put how many power plays attempts. So for Team A, they had 1 penalty, and it was for how many minutes. So they had a total of 2 minutes of penalty. The visitor, okay, we had 0. So you would total these up. I'm just basing on the information we've already put in, but you would total that up at the end of the game. Power play attempts, the home team had none, and they went 1 for 1 in their power play attempts because they were able to score off of that power play. And then finally down here, you're going to fill out the information of the final score. So you're going to put Team A, Team B, the period. Okay, so it was 1-1, and then you would fill this out so that you had a winner. This obviously isn't filled out, so you have a winner. So you would go until you had that winner in that overtime, but we're just going to say it ended 1-1. So that's kind of the basics of each of the sections. If you have any questions about the sections and want more detail, definitely let me know. I just wanted to make sure I hit on each section so you had an idea without going into every single possible play that could happen. Obviously, there's lots of different penalties you can have, and the official will tell you what penalty it is and how much it's for. And then obviously you could have a lot of shots scored in a game, or you could have barely any. Some hockey games, are 7-5, and some are 1-0. So you could have a lot and end up with a lot of information. You might end up with a lot of penalties, or you can end up with not a lot. So this is just kind of the basic information you need to know how to fill out the NCAA hockey score sheet. And if you have any questions, definitely let me know. So I hope you guys found this video helpful. If you have any questions again on this score sheet, let me know in the comments down below. I will be having a video on the USA score sheet as well if you're interested in checking that out. If you have any other questions about hockey rules, score sheets, or scoring for any other sports, let me know that as well. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe if you did, and I will see you guys next Wednesday.